We're going to run a couple of test tier 6 sites. I'm going to take the trusty Gila out. This is the Firestorm tier 5 build. Looks like I got a repaired drone. It was designed for tier 5, and it was designed for the 10 spawns that we know about. And now it's going to go into tier 6 with at least 5 spawns that we don't know about. So this is most likely going to die in a gigantic ball of fire, and we're all going to have a good time. I'm actually going to fire up Peld. And this is a damage meter written in Python. It reads your Eve Client's combat logs. So it's able to spit out real-time... Oh, it fired up anyway. Cool. Okay, so it displays a real-time output of your damage taken, damage dealt, etc. capacitor. You can even track mining. Anyway, we're going to have that up here so we can see what we're actually doing. First, we're going to repair everything. This is on Singularity, obviously, because that's where this content is live and best for testing. So this is, again, built for tier 5, built for spawns that we know about. I'm going in without any boosters. All I have is the ship. All I have is this emergency booster in cargo, this hard shell. Oh, I brought a tier 5 filament. I gotta go back and get a tier 6. My bad. I bought the biggest filament. Nope, not anymore. Now it's tier 6. So we've got, I'll just go through the loadout. I may as well go through the fitting while I'm getting this. So this ship is made up of these parts. So we have faction rapid lights. We have a medium Garista's A-type shield booster, a Dead Space B-type prop, 2 large capacitor batteries, and 2 Garista's A-type resist mods, and 3 damage mods in our lows, 2 rigs that speed up our medium shield booster, solidifiers, and 1 thermal resist rig. Our drone bay is 2 flights of Navy hammerheads for when we need their HP or their tracking, 2 flights of Tech 2 hammerheads for when we need their damage and it's safe, and 1 flight of augmented hammerheads if we get an Ephialtes cruiser room. The pod that we're using is going to be high-grade crystals, drone hit points implant in slot 7, speed implant slot 8, light missile damage, launcher rate of fire 9 and 10. Now we have to grab the correct filaments. So we need Cataclysmic, which is the new tier Firestorm filaments. As you can see, everything on Singularity is seeded for 100 ISK. There is 1 seeded market NPC station in every single constellation on Singularity. So feel free to hop on and test whatever you want. So we've got our filaments now. So I'm going to be testing this out, not only for my own enjoyment and my own research, but I am going to be providing feedback for CCP because I want this content to be balanced and I want this content to be not buggy.
Dies to a death spawn on the first wave or some crazy stuff.
We'll see when it does. So again, I'm dealing with spawns of NPCs that I've never seen before, and I'm dealing with bigger spawns than I've ever seen before because it's a new tier. Now, my entire method of success is going in already knowing everything. So this is very likely to die. And this is the purpose and use of the Singularity server. All right, let's have at it. I guess I may as well elucidate. This drop down is new. So now you can select 1 cruiser, 2 destroyers, or 3 frigates directly from here. All right, here goes nothing, folks. Stand by, please. I guess it's spinning up my instance right now. There we go.
Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see. We're going in blind. I usually like to, I could have researched the rats, but we're kind of just like, hundreds of ISK could be lost. All right, so this is a room we've seen before. This is nothing new, except you see this says Drifter Command Battleship, which is brand new. Charybdis Tyrannos gets an upgrade every tier, and now we're in tier 6. This sucker here can get a wrecking blow for 9,000 damage.
Jeez.
Ooh, this does not look good.
I mean, I didn't have the shield booster on. We're going to be just fine. This is already really mean. I'm burning the shit. Like, this stuff has been hot the whole time. Like, I'm going to have to unheat this at some point soon. All right, that heat can come off now. Things aren't quite so crazy. That was really rough, folks.
Yeah, this looks pretty brutal. Firestorms I always found harder too, even T1s.
Well, they're meant to be.
Be curious to see how a gamma or an exotic is for
Well,
this
so
tier.
firestorms are very literally meant to be harder. Like every abyss site gets 1 bonus and 1 penalty. The badge that I'm hovering over here now shows you what that bonus and penalty are. In this case, the firestorm bonus is 50% additional armor hit points. Oh, sure, just bump off the rock, thanks. That armor doesn't help me. I don't care about armor buffer. Even if I was in an armor ship, buffer is kind of pointless. What matters is reps, but the rats that I'm fighting, they get more armor, which means I have more to chew through. That's awful. Make everything take longer. The penalty for firestorm sites is against your thermal resistance. Thermal resistance is extremely scary damage in Abyss. So basically, this is the worst of everything.
Is the loot better generally? Because I understand it's kind of randomized.
So let's focus for a minute. So I've been using the augmented hammerheads to take out the Ephialtes cruisers, but since I'm on Charybdis now, I pulled out the hammerhead twos. Because they can hit her harder. So my timer is already in the toilet. I'm already 4.5 minutes in, and I got it. That means I have 2 minutes to be done in this room, and that is not happening. So this room has already messed me up, but good.
Well, you gotta hope you get a significantly easier spawn later in, which isn't gonna happen, right?
No. It's already a loss.
Why? Okay, explain.
There's no recovering. A death room is a death room. 6 minutes and 40 seconds means you lose.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I was just thinking if you can pick up the pace later in, which is going to be difficult.
It doesn't. So yes, you can escape by the skin of your teeth, but I'm not talking about winning one side or losing one side.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about winning or losing. Like if your ship is going to survive indefinitely or not. And if there are spawns that take you longer than 640 and you get that spawn 3 times in one site, then you are finished.
Yes, exactly. Sorry. I was talking about if you got that and then, say, a pretty light one in the next room. But I got a feeling that's not going to happen.
Right. So if you've screwed up, then an individual site can be rescued.
Mm-hmm.
But but you still screwed up. Like you still hit a death room.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to make it out of this room in 6 minutes and 40. In fact, I'm at 6 minutes and 5 already. I take it back. I am going to make it out.
It's going to be skin of the teeth.
Yeah. So I'm skipping a loot and I'm just jumping out. So I made it out. Oh shit! I forgot my. See that? I'm not paying attention, and I forgot my my prop, and that's why I was moving so slowly. That's what caused me to fail. Okay, so I did make it out before 640. So that's good. But it was close. And I had to skip the loop. Then again, obviously I haven't been paying the most attention. I've been trying to narrate a little bit. That's room 1, kids. Okay then.
Yeah, no.
Okay then. All right. So what do we got? Like that's all starvers. Okay, then we're cool. So we're just gonna charge down a starver.
Even though you say you're cool, that's about as many as we've seen rooms end it for with people before.
Right? I mean, this is gonna be fine. This is gonna be just fine. Like
yeah, they got less health than I thought they did, but
right. So a properly done Leshak room, which I've already screwed up because you see I bumped. So a properly done Leshak room is super fast. They die really fast.
Yeah. The worry is them ramping up because.
Right. So I'm just gonna pop. I'm splitting. So I have a drone on each of these, and I'm doing hot missiles on this one, and I've heated my resists as well. So I'm basically just charging one down, and I'm taking out the starvers because I know that my capacitor is extremely vulnerable while they're still up.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely going to be something you want to overheat a lot in.
I'm taking this booster, even though I don't think it's necessary. I just, want to keep at it. All right, so 3 Leshaks out of that pack are going down. 1 is already down. Oh, and this dude's gonna try to cat me out, and I really don't want that to happen. All right, so the last newt is oh no, there's actually two. My bad. Now the last newt is going down, but I'm good at this point. Like my capacitor is going to survive. You see this? They took me down to a quarter. That's with an extremely efficient shield booster, extremely high resists, and two large cap batteries.
Are they faction cap batteries as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one mistake and you're dead. Simply put.
Yeah, this is no joke. Like this is a huge mess.
How much time you have left?
10 minutes. So like I'm not going to go over on this, but it's close, like real close.
Do firestorms have the best loot, literally, or no?
Oh, so you asked about loot. Loot's pretty much the same across the board. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. Firestorm loot happens to be a teensy bit like higher, but also they're more dangerous and they take longer to run. But the filaments are cheap. The filaments are 3 mil for tier 5, so that figures it. It's really what it comes down to.
Okay, because I was wondering why people do firestorms if they're a bit more harder than the other ones.
So we beat every room in under 640. And that's good. We got one more room.
Is it bad I'm rooting for it to be another death spawn?
I mean, we'll see.
To be honest, no, I just want to see like Concord on that.
All right, last room. Let's see if we get one of the new spawns. That'll be interesting because we've only gotten old ones so far. I want to see like, nope, old spawn again, Drifter Command Battleship. So we're gonna skip this. So because we're on Singularity,
Cheat.
no, it's like I don't need boring rooms. I need like good rooms. We literally did this exact room already. You know, we had a bunch of webs, we had some newts, we had the crib this. So we have /move me, and we can move out. So I'm gonna pop out the Vegeta real quick, and then we're gonna go again.
Just keep rolling it till you get a
Yeah. So this is
new
what I
room.
do. This is what I do when I want to test a new ship build. I will jump in until I get the room I want, and just keep jumping out.
Yes.
So I'll go back to perimeter and back to my spot because, as you see, there's an abyssal trace here already, so I can't put mine.
I'd just do a move me to some random wormhole.
I mean, whatever. I'm just gonna jump one jump. Same thing. Sphero in chat. How do you split the drones? If you select a target, and then you right-click a drone, then you can tell that drone engage my currently selected target, and then that one drone will do it. Or you could select 3 drones and do that if you wanted. Let's do it again, folks. So we want to see. So there's the Sanchas, there's the Neutrigs, there's the Angels, there's the Edencom Upwell ships, and there's Concord ships.
Okay, I was about to say, Fonsui, it's not just Edencom. It's Concord and Edencom together as Black Troop. Right?
Well, we don't know if they're going to be in the same room or separate rooms or whatever. Like I don't know yet. There might be a Concord room and an Edencom room, or there might be just like a room with all of those together.
To what I read, it's supposed to be that Saro, the law group, special operations group, is using them all the ships to do it.
I would bet heavily. I would bet heavily against lore figuring in at all in the design.
I'm just looking at the ship descriptions.
Yeah, I would suggest that. Traditionally speaking, every Abyss room kind of has like one boss configuration, which usually consists of a battleship. And since there is an Edencom battleship and a Concord battleship, they may not be found together. Anyway, so this is a boring room. It's the one we got. Again, it's Charybdis. So we're just gonna pop on out of here. I guess we could just go to like this asshole wormhole here and just do a site there. Oh look, we're in a black hole. We got a 100 surveys from 2 caches. That's a lot of surveys, folks. That's a lot. That is a lot of surveys for 2 caches, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. 109.
That's not even doing the right estimated prices, though.
Yeah, no, these are
like completely lost track.
Those are worth 100,000 ISK apiece. So 109 of them is what's it called? So 10 of them is $1 million, right?
So it's 10 mil.
Yeah, that's 10 mil from 2 caches, and that's like not even a high amount. Like there's gonna be a lot of red loot coming out of there. Kikimoras and Drekovacs, folks. Here we go. So I looked these up. These assholes are gonna kite you. These are the only. So there was only one battlecruiser in Abyss until now. This is the only other battlecruiser in Abyss aside from drones. So let's see how hard they stomp our faces in, right?
What was the drone battlecruiser? Because I'm honestly forgetting that.
The Tesseras. All right, so we have a ghosting, striking, Kikis. Oh my lord. Okay, so let's take out some Kikimoras. What's my missile range? Is it like nothing? No, it's 42. I haven't gotten ghosted yet. I'm about to get ghosted. So the Shining Drek paints you. Thank you very much, Shining Drek. Oh, and they get Damovics, guys. They get Damovics. Oh, let's see what these are. Let's see. Show info. They are Svarog. They're Svarog.
Are the battle cruisers the same?
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Svarog. These dudes are tanky.
They were repping as well, weren't they?
Yeah, but look at what they're doing to me. They're killing me. Oh my god, these are Dreks. Holy smokes. I forgot. These guys will eat you alive. All right, so this room is officially mean. This was a death. This was a loss. The Dreks killed me.
Considering that was pushing you through armor still, even as you were repping.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't close. So what we're seeing here is kind of expected because I have long held the belief. Everybody's always like, "Oh, Karen." By the way, that's kind of silly. You could just call it Charybdis. I know it's more than like 3 letters long, so it's hard for a lot of people to read, but it says Charybdis. Crack open a mythology book.
Yes.
Yeah. And anyway, let's get this repaired while I blather on. So everybody's always scared of Charybdis, and it's true. Like, you should be scared of Charybdis. She's scary, but the scariest enemy in Abyssal Dead Space is the Vedmak, hands down. It's not even close. The Vedmak is faster than you. It gets on you. It stays on you. It ramps up, and it doesn't let go. They're so nasty. They're so mean that they're so mean that I judge tanks in number of Vedmaks.
Which is funny because non-NPC Vedmaks are like the complete opposite. So anyone going in with no experience can just fall suspect to that, right?
Yeah, so Vedmaks are really mean. They're really fast. They do a lot of damage. They ramp up really high. Drekavax are just more of the same. They're just meaner. So I'm getting the feeling that I'm supposed to kite them, but I don't know if I can. So we're gonna do a teensy bit of science live.
I bet you that's what that Damovic's there for.
Well, I mean, the spawns are randomized to a degree. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure it out. So this is how I win Abyss. Not because I'm an awesome pilot. I'm a terrible pilot, but I win because I know all of the things. So here we go. We're gonna look up everything there is to know about the new Drekavax.
So, Fonsui, whilst you were saying that, something clicked. You still have that hard shell in as well, don't you?
Yeah, the hard shell's in.
So they beat you through the hard shell, not just playing.
No. This was like Vedmax ramp up to some obscene amount of damage, and these are meaner. So this is unsurprising. And did you see how many of those assholes there were? There was like 6 or 7 of them.
Yep.
There must have been like 94. So do not underestimate the disintegrators.
The power of the Dracovac.
Yeah, disintegrators on the NPCs are definitely going to get you. There's no doubt. Repair.
I think that might end up being like the new nastiest room that there is, right?
Yeah.
Leshaks don't have the speed, but they have the ramp up.
So the room that I've told people to look out for before was the one with the plain, the non-drone versions of the Damovix and the Vedmax, because the Vedmax are really nasty and the Damovix are a very, very strong support. Their spider tank is extremely strong to break. Like so Triglavians all have remote reps in Abyss, with very, very few exceptions. So when you get a room full of Triglavians, that means that they're all repairing each other the entire time, and you have to break through those remote reps, and it's very, very difficult because they're strong remote reps. And if you have renewing ones, then they're like dedicated strong remote reps. So what we just saw was some very, very mean stuff. It's basically just a harder version of that room that I said was the hardest room. So now there's a harder version, and it's in a new tier. So
even more of them.
Yeah, it's Gila may. I don't think Gila can sail through anymore. I think you actually have to pilot this thing.
Was it able to just sail through T5s?
Yeah, so if you knew enough about the content, it's like if you were masterful and you knew the rats and you knew the sites and you knew like all there was to know, and then you went in with all the bling in the world, like 5 to 8 billion isk in your Gila, then you could get, like, if you knew what you were doing, you'd be guaranteed of getting it. You wouldn't have to pilot at all. You could literally just like use the the pilot commands, orbit, approach, etc., and you wouldn't have to pilot, and you could just win guaranteed. And I do not believe that is any longer that is the case in tier 6. I don't think, with this new spawns and that. I don't think that's possible anymore.
Is there a ship above the Gila you could use to basically not pilot?
No, the Gila has been the pinnacle the entire time. If there was a better one, that's what people would have been using, but they're not. So that's pretty much it.
Or at least there's no ship cheap enough, right?
I imagine well, yeah, there's like Alliance tournament ships, but I imagine like Ishtar could potentially have an easier time. What? 4 Deep Watchers in tier 6, ladies, gents, and non-binaries. 4 deep. Oh boy.
Slash move me. That's all I would do.
No. This is science. This is the science we came here for.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hey, they've only got 2 layers. You know, they got armor hull. Sorry, they don't have shield.
This is
What
no,
they have? What is it they have
no
more
solace.
of?
This is no solace.
No, because they gain more of one of the other, don't they? I just can't remember which one.
So here's our concern. The Deep Watcher room. This room right here. Okay, it's a 70 room. The Deep Watcher room, this is the ultimate Abyss DPS check. Until now, tier 5 was the max, right?
Mm-hmm.
That being the case, sorry, I'm just going to pay attention here for just a moment. That being the case, so you would get 3 Deep Watchers in tier 5. That's the number. All Lucids, which are sleepers, have local reps and remote reps as well. They have both. So when you have 3 of these extremely tanky battleships, which you see their resists here, I'll just squeeze that a little bit. So these are their resists, 70% across the board, across the stinking board, folks. So they're
minus the 70%.
Yeah, so there's a resist hole. So I'm using Hammerhead 2s to shoot into the thermal resist hole as hard as I can. But my missiles are back. The tank is over tanking. So 3 of those in a firestorm site with extra armor when these guys are armor rats.
Yes, that's it. Okay.
It's just really awful news. And it's so bad. It's so bad that that's the DPS check. Like that's the standard for can you do enough damage? If you could beat this in 640, then you're good.
Yeah, this isn't a room. Well, I'd say this typically isn't a room that is a challenge to live.
No, you shouldn't even get hit. You see how my tank is pretty much full the entire time? So the fact that the Deep Watcher room is the DPS check and 3 is a lot because you have the local reps and the remote reps and the brick, and then they throw a 4th one at you, that is extremely mean. Like,
and you're doing them in Firestorm, so you get the 50% bonus to it.
So you see here my DPS out. This is my actual DPS after resist and after application. I'm putting out 500 DPS. It just upped. See, this guy just went into hull, so I got up to like 800 there, and I'm going to get higher. But you'll see when I get to the next Deep Watcher, I'm going to go down to like 400, 500 DPS again because of their silly resists, even with the resist hole. These things just take forever and a day.
Yeah. I mean, as I was saying, right, it's not a question of living against them. It's a question of killing them in time to get out of the site.
Yeah, so this is your DP. This is your raw DPS check. There's no tactics or tank test on this room. This spawn is pure DPS check. So right now, our timer has what's it called? Our timer is down by exactly 4 minutes right now. So we're doing really good. We are 4 minutes in, and we have 2 out of 4 Deep Watchers and 1 Trash Rat down. We have the cash collected, and we're on the gate. So we're going to be well under 640. So the DPS check, the raw DPS check is passed. We could get 3 of these rooms in a row and be fine. However, this is a 70% room. The penalties in Abyss, there's 3 levels of penalty. There's 30, 50, and 70% in tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. every room rolls randomly, either 50% penalty or 70% penalty. In tier 4 and in tier 5, every room rolls randomly 50% or 70% penalty. In this case, when there's a 50% penalty, then that means that everybody's got more resist. So I have more resist, so I tank better. But the rats have more resist, so I do less damage. So we got a 70% room, which is fast. But this room, the 4 Deep Watchers with a 50% room, may be an entirely different story. Because like this is very close. Because like we're now at 5 minutes and 10 seconds in. So we have 1 minute and 30 left. We have 90 seconds left to exit this room and be safe. And we had a 70% room, and we're only starting on the last guy now. This is dangerous. This is a max skill character with a max bling ship with Tech 2 drones, max skills, everything. We're using Tech 2 ammo in faction launchers. Like, there is very, very little you could do to put out more raw damage, and we're almost timing out.
Yeah.
Like, we're applying everything.
What's the ballistic control you got? Is that a CX?
C3X.
Okay, so even then it's like...
See, my peak damage was almost 1,200. My raw output here is 915. 915 raw output. And it's all straight into the resist hole. It's thermal missiles, thermal drones, thermal resist. And it's still taking this long. Like, look at this. We're now at, that's 6 minutes and 20 seconds. We have 20 seconds to leave. That's skinnier teeth. A 50% room would have been a death room here.
This is the point when you want to be pulling your drones back as well. Because it could genuinely come down to, did you pull your drones fast enough?
So the only thing we didn't do here was we could have squeezed with a couple of button presses, and if I was doing this for real, I'd have been overheating the life out of my launchers. Okay, so this is a regular Perrin room. We don't need to test this room. Jump out. So that's just mean.
Yeah.
So a 70% Deep Watcher room took me 6 minutes and 30. 6 minutes and 30, and I could have maybe shaved 20 seconds off that. That's like, ooh. How you say dicey in Triglavian?
Dicey? I don't even want to think what a 50% would come down to. What do you reckon? You'd be pushing 8, 9 minutes?
I mean, yeah, you can't go over 640 is death. So I stopped counting after 640. Gaurav asked me what implants I'm using, so I brought it up. So it's high grade crystals, drone tank. That's ship speed, light missile damage, launcher rate of fire.
I mean, that's a pretty decent trade-off between your DPS and your tank there.
So the only way that the ship could do more damage, there's like one thing, and it's silly. It's right here. I could pop out this 5% missiles damage, and I could use a yellow jacket. The yellow jacket is 5% drone damage, which would give the heal a lot more. That implant costs only 3 billion ISK and will never ever be available again. So hey, go for it.
So just remember, every time you use one, that's one less you can use if you die.
Yeah, it's the yellow jacket, and it came from like a Galente race event like a couple years back. They had it just during that event, and it was for the winner, and it was hard to get, and they've never made it available since. And they had an opportunity since then, and it didn't. So I don't know if it'll ever come back. Yeah, I pulled it up. I answered him. So we're gonna do another one. We're gonna see if we can get an interesting room. I want to fight I want to blow up some marshals, don't you?
Yeah,
I want to blow up some skybreakers.
I
wanna
want to see
fight
the
Sancha.
Concord spawn.
Yeah. So
Sancha spawn as well, yeah.
marshals, pacifiers, and enforcers. Okay, so this is a room. This is an old room, but it's got the new Overmind in it, so I'll do it.
So, what are the new Overminds supposed to be? Are they, the Overminds or what was the Drifter one? Drifter Command Battleship or something, right?
Yeah, so this is a endobenthic Abyssal Overmind. It's really mean.
So these are just a new boss, right?
Yeah, so the Overmind gets an upgrade every tier.
Mm-hmm. And this is its upgrade.
Yeah, it gets a new name every tier, just like Charybdis flies a new ship every tier.
Is it a new ship or a more healed up ship?
No, it's a new ship. Like the ship has a different type and everything, just like the drone battleship.
Okay, I never actually knew that. I will admit.
Well,
I thought they were just using a more repaired version based on.
No, so the hit points are different, but it's actually a different ship. That's important to note that you see how the column in my overview here is type, and name comes after. And the truth is, I'm considering just moving name off to the side because that's not relevant for Abyss. Only type matters. The type is how you differentiate your enemies. If you're not using type to differentiate your enemies, you're doing it incorrectly.
Yeah, no, I knew the type. It was just I didn't know the boss battleship. Should we call that? Had a bit of a change.
All right. So I sicked my drones on the Overmind, so he goes down as quickly as possible.
How quick do they normally go? For Tifa Leaf?
Well, faster than this.
True. I just wasn't sure if it was another DPS check or.
It is. So this is the tankiest NPC in Abyss. The Overmind is the tankiest NPC, but the Deep Watcher room has more EHP because it's 4 of them. So the Deep Watcher has less EHP than this guy, but 4 Deep Watchers don't.
Okay. That said, with the Deep Watchers as well, seeing as it's 4 different ships, you've also got the time to switch between them, right? Not going to be massive, but it's something. So that was 14 mil you just pulled out. What was that?
Oh, I'm not paying attention. Also, the prices are always screwy on Simulator.
That's true. I just saw 14 mil estimated there, and it was okay, not bad.
So I screwed up in not taking these out earlier because they have been repping this guy the whole time,
making it more difficult.
And I knew it, but once I was out of range, it was too late. So I just had to deal with the fact that they're repping him.
Yeah.
And now, I just got a speed cloud. Speed cloud, minus 50% inertia and 300 plus 300% velocity. So you go really fast and you could turn. It's crazy.
Those are the new clouds, right?
Yeah, that's the new cloud. I forgot what it was called, but I just passed through it. Tachyon cloud.
Okay.
So now we have this guy up and nothing else, and I'm in the middle of nowhere where I don't want to be. I have done this room very poorly, but it has only taken 4.5 minutes. So this is totally cool. So this room is under time, and we're all right. Although we didn't do spectacularly.
I mean, once you know what you got to do, though, you got it.
Right. I mean, it's about practice and muscle memory and all that jazz.
I mean, once you know what you got to do, though, and hoping you don't get a socket
Right. I mean, it's
disconnect
about
like I
practice and
always end
muscle
up
memory
with
and
in
all
the
that
Abyss.
jazz. So yeah, the Overmind isn't nearly as scary as Deep Watchers. That the Deep Watcher room is just so much worse. That was a 70% room, by the way. Again, okay. So this is a tier 6 lance room. So I'm gonna do it because these lances are really nasty and they're embers, and we're in a firestorm. So this is a good test. Look at them tearing up my shields. Tearing them up. High grade crystals. A-type invols. Hot. Just tearing it apart. Sorry for not talking. I was like super focused on trying not to die. This room is mean. Like really mean. So so you see there's two kinds of NPCs called Teslas. There's the lances and the needles. And I think you can figure out what that means. The needles are the ones that appear in support of other NPCs. The lances are the ones that appear in a swarm alone, like they did here. The lances do much more damage and have much more HP, and they're just really rude. All right, last room. Let's see what we get. Just a plain old parent room. Nothing special. Kind of boring. Jumping out. But say we do one more, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna do one more shot. Here we go, folks. They keep giving me the same room. Whatever. Let's kill Charybdis just because like she's getting in our way, huh? So we're gonna take out 3 of those newts right off the bat as we're charging down Charybdis, trying to get under her guns. With hot resists. Oh yeah. Okay, so we took out 3 of the 5 newts already. Ooh, drones took a beating. So we're taking out the battleship because she dictates position. Once the battleship is down, everything else follows me around. So I get to kill it and be in position when they all die. And that lets me maximize on my time. That is one way to deal with Charybdis. It's how I choose to. Got to pull these drones back because they're getting attacked. Every time you see something go yellow, it means they're on your drones. All right. So this room, yep, we are 5 minutes and 5 and 20 in. So this is going to be extremely, extremely tight. And this is a 70% room. So I've only gotten 70% rooms. It's possible that tier 6 is always 70. So I should be on or near the gate when these all die. All right, here we go. So that was a lot of research on this, trying to hunt the new spawns. I suggest everybody do the same. Bring your favorite ship. You don't have to go to tier 6. These spawns need tuning and balancing and testing on every tier. So go to tier 4 and go to tier 5. Go to tier 1. Go to tier 0. Try it all out. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be tried out, tested for bugs, defects, or just tuning. So please do. And thanks all for watching.